Mount Hermon rises from the earth like a boundary marker between realms. 200 angels stood on its peak, and Shemhazai felt the weight of every gaze. They'd come because he'd called them. They'd come because they'd all seen the same problem. But seeing a problem and accepting its solution were different thresholds entirely. "You know why we're here," Shemhazai began. His voice carried across the summit with the clarity that came from never needing to shout. "You've watched the humans in their garden, innocent, protected, safe." He paused, letting them remember. The humans moving through Eden with the certainty of children who'd never been hurt. Beautiful in their simplicity, trapped in it. And you've seen what that innocence costs them. No genuine choice without genuine alternatives. No moral development without moral danger. They can't sin because they lack the capacity. They can't choose good because they don't understand evil. They're incomplete. Azazel shifted his weight. We could teach them. Give them tools, knowledge, the capacity to... And that's why I called you here. Shemhazai met his eyes. Because teaching them means more than you think it means. Here's what happens if we descend, Shemhazai said. Not what might happen, what will happen. I've seen it. We all have, if we're honest about what watching actually reveals. We descend, we teach. To Azazel, you give them metallurgy, the ability to forge tools that can build or destroy. Pernamu, you give them writing, the ability to preserve truth or lies across generations. Barakijal, you teach them to read the stars, navigation or idolatry, depending on their choice. Every gift we bring can be used for creation or corruption, and they'll need those gifts. They need the capacity to choose, which means they need power that matters, real tools, real knowledge, real alternatives between good and evil. But here's what we can't avoid. Our presence doesn't just bring gifts, it brings overflow. We're not like them. We're not mortal, not limited, not small. When we walk among them, when we take their daughters as wives, when we live in their world instead of just watching it, the boundary between divine and mortal collapses. There will be children, and those children will be wrong, too powerful for mortality, too mortal for divinity, giants who devour instead of build. The Nephilim will represent everything that happens when thresholds dissolve completely, when there's no boundary at all between what should be kept separate. So here's the sequence, all of it, because I won't lie to you. We descend, we teach, we love. We generate the gifts and the corruption simultaneously. The gifts embed themselves in humanity, in their hands, their minds, their practices. Metallurgy spreads, writing spreads, astronomy spreads. These thresholds, once opened, can't be closed. The knowledge becomes part of human development, but the corruption also spreads. The Nephilim grow in power and appetite. Humanity suffers under their domination. The world becomes unsustainable, not because the gifts are evil, but because the presence that brought them has no natural place in creation. God purges the corruption, a flood that wipes away the Nephilim, the overflow, the collapsed boundaries. Humanity gets a reset, keeps the gifts but loses the domination. And we're bound, separated from heaven, separated from earth, trapped in the darkness between. We become the permanent anchor points for the thresholds we opened, maintaining them not through our presence, but through our absence, through our suffering. Azazel bound in the desert of Dudael, maintaining metallurgy from imprisonment. You, Kokabel, bound beneath the earth, keeping the constellations readable. Each of us becomes a living Herm, a boundary marker that holds a threshold open through our own bodies. We watch our children destroy each other, and then we watch humanity use the gifts we died to give them. We see every sword forged, every lie written, every idol carved from astronomical knowledge. We see them choose, sometimes good, sometimes evil, but always genuinely choosing because they have the capacity now. That's what I'm proposing. Not a rebellion, a covenant. We become the permanent price for human moral agency. Now here's why I'm afraid. His voice dropped, and for a moment the watching angel showed through the gathered leader. I'm afraid I'm wrong about you. I'm afraid I'll take this oath and you'll break it. So I'm afraid I'll descend alone and pay this price alone, and it won't be enough. The thresholds won't hold with just one anchor point. So I need your oath, not your hope, not your intention. Your oath, binding, unbreakable, sworn together, so that none of us can back out when the horror starts. Because it will be horrible watching our children become monsters, watching them die. Watching ourselves blamed for corruption we knew was necessary. Watching humanity curse us as villains while using the gifts we suffered to give them. If you can't accept all of that, the pleasure of teaching, the love of mortal women, the horror of seeing our children destroyed, the eternity of darkness, the curse of being remembered as tempters, then leave now. But if you see what I see, that this is the only mechanism that creates genuine choice, that consciousness requires discrimination, and discrimination requires maintained boundaries, and boundaries require permanent cost, then swear with me. We'll bind ourselves by mutual curse. We'll name this mountain Hermon, the cursed place, and because here we accept damnation for a purpose. We'll descend knowing exactly what we're choosing, and humanity will finally be free to choose too. The silence stretched across the summit like a drawn blade. Then Azazel stepped forward. I swear it, all of it. May I be bound in darkness if I fail to hold my threshold. Barakijal followed. I swear, may the stars I teach them to read witness my oath. Penemu, I swear, may the words I give them record my covenant. One by one, 200 voices. 200 acceptances of foreknown damnation. The oath settled over them like chains that hadn't been forged yet. Shemhazai felt it lock into place, not just between them, but into the structure of reality itself. They weren't just promising, they were becoming something different. Angels who would be Herms, watchers who would be thresholds. Then it's done, he said. Let's descend,